I can't believe I'm going to give away the secrets.
Welcome back, everyone. My name is Jesse Tyler Ridgway. Today, we're going to be looking at what I believe to be the greatest investment that you can make right now, and it's also been the case for the last 10 years. So far on the finance channel, we have not really got into the brass tacks, the nitty-gritty of how you guys can make loads of cash. So today is that first dip of the toe into the water. There's a lot to cover in this video. So I hope you got your finance caps on and you're ready to soak up all this juicy knowledge that will help you earn some greenbacks in your future. Now, I'm sure you've seen these videos before. People claiming you're gonna 10x your money, you're gonna make $1 million in 1 week trading. I mean, dude, TikTok is chock full of these things. YouTube charlatans, snake oil salesmen saying,
I'm gonna make you rich. You have to buy my $100 program. Also, here's my Lamborghini and my $1 million house.
shoot, that's starting to sound like me. Hold up.
I'm 19 years old, but I know everything about finance and where you should be investing your money and just how to handle high net worth or even no money at all. Just whatever money you do have, give it to me. I'm doing a 100-week program.
I've seen it all. And look, guys, I'm not claiming to be the all-knowing expert. However, I'm going to lay all this information out there. I'm not trying to steal your money. This is all free information. I encourage you to Google away and just know from my personal experience, I've invested in stocks, bonds, indexes, I've traded options, I've invested in real estate, cryptocurrencies, and there has never been a better return on my investment than on the last one I just mentioned, and I've never had more belief in any asset class since the arrival of digital currencies. That's right, guys. I have been a huge proponent of everything going digital.
Everything's going digital. I'm gonna be big on YouTube and on Twitch.
Whether it be newspapers turning into blogs and websites and internet articles, or, YouTube and all this digital Hollywood taking over traditional streaming platforms, crushing the Hollywood studio system and theaters, stocks plummeting, AMC Regal potentially shutting down, Uber crushing the taxi service, Shopify killing all local business, Craigslist, eBay, no longer going to the meeting place, the cafe. No, we're doing it on Facebook. We're doing it on Zoom. Everything, especially after the pandemic, it's fast-tracked us to this digital world. Online multiplayer, virtual reality. Guys, the increasing exponential growth of digital and technology. As I sit here and record this video, as I send these files to an editor to be edited.
Hey, that's me.
As we are accessing programs via the cloud, and I have all the information that I could ever want at my fingertips on a cell phone and talk to anyone in the world, the physical realm becomes less and less important. As Amazon 2-day delivery literally is the revolutionary way of sending our Christmas gifts this year. Drones by mail. Even to interior decorate this space right here, I can get AR filters on my phone and place a digital version of the couch I want to buy in the room, so I never physically have to do anything. The writing's been on the wall, my friends, and you're going to hear a lot of investment advice from everybody and their mother. However, it's never been more clear that the best investment you can make is the final frontier, the last thing that needs to be digitized, and that is the very concept of this channel: finance, money. For those not sure what I'm talking about, I am referring to cryptocurrency, digital currencies. I'm talking about Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, and the slew of potentially thousands of digital currencies that exist, going from Stellar to Cardano to EOS, Tezos, BitConnect, Tether, NuCypher, Dogecoin. Who's coming up with these names? It almost sounds like make-believe, and I know cryptocurrency, they get a pretty bad rap, but that's like anything that we don't understand. That's always the first case. We make fun of it, we judge it, and then it gets further more legitimized, and then suddenly you're the one that missed out. Had you just believed in something and looked at the cold, hard facts and stopped listening to everyone else, the mainstream, and just let's take a look. When I say cryptocurrency, I am referring to a blanket of financial instruments, an asset class that exists on this technology known as the blockchain. Now, the blockchain is basically this, and let me try and break this down as simply as I can without confusing myself. Imagine this machine process, this ledger, if you will, that tracks ins and outs, transactions, and where different addresses, similar to kind of what a bank would do. But in this situation, it is all automated and it's decentralized, so no one singular party, there's nothing controlling it. It's running on its own. In essence, what I'm trying to describe is like trying to probably describe how the internet works back 20, 30 years ago.
Yeah, so you connect your wires, and then you're plugging into the World Wide Web, and packets of information and data are sending.
There's people a lot smarter than I that can break that down more, but just understanding it removes any central powers. Now, the blockchain is a technology that it runs on, but you can build certain cryptocurrencies that are using the blockchain technology, but they can perform different other functions. Bitcoin being sort of the face of cryptocurrency. The current value of one Bitcoin is around $19,000. That's right. So in the last decade, that's right, from 2010 to 2020, had you invested $100 into Bitcoin, it would be worth around $9 million today. Had you invested that $100 into any other asset, whether it be, say, Amazon, you'd have $3,300. So you invested into Facebook, maybe you have a couple grand, or say you invested into any stock, Visa, Apple, you'd have hundreds, maybe thousands of dollars, versus Bitcoin, you'd have $9 million. Now, how is that possible? There's no way. Granted, we're looking at investing into Bitcoin pretty much right at its origin. So that's why it would net such a huge return. Even if you just invested at the low of this year of around $3,000 to $4,000, you'd be looking at a 6x return. And for those who don't know anything about investments or the market, that's pretty freaking insane. In less than a year, you've 600%ed your return. Had you invested $1,000, you'd be looking at $6,000. And year over year, your investments into Bitcoin or other cryptocurrencies on a longer time horizon, or sometimes in the shorter time horizon, there's never been a greater investment. I've personally doubled, tripled, 10x my money on certain investments on certain cryptocurrencies because this is a new emerging asset class. There is a lot of volatility, so there's a lot of people earning lots of money, there's people losing lots of money, but just like in investing in a stock market or any market, you have to make sure that you're doing calculated bets, calculated risks, and you're also not investing more than you can afford to lose. So now Bitcoin, having this value, Bitcoin really is the name that everybody knows. You ask people on the street, like, have you heard of Bitcoin? Or you ask any other cryptocurrency, they probably haven't heard of it. Most have heard of Bitcoin, and if they haven't, they will. Why I'm such a huge proponent of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies is there is a fixed supply. So there can only be 21 million Bitcoin in existence. And as these things get bought up and people start holding on to these coins, the value continues to go up because of the scarcity. Now, unlike, say, US dollars, which have been continuously printed, especially in the year 2020, the dollar that we all hold is continuously going to go down in value. And that's known as inflation. As the dollar loses value, it becomes harder and harder to purchase things, say at the store or say even homes. The value of the dollar just keeps dropping. So that's why it's more important than ever, especially at a time like this, to invest your money into things that will hold their value. And that's what Bitcoin's being touted as, a store of value. Some have equated to digital gold. You don't have to buy a full Bitcoin. You don't need $19,000 to buy a Bitcoin. You can have fractions of a Bitcoin. You can have 0.0012 Satoshis, they're referred to as. Just by holding that Bitcoin, you can be rest assured that they're not about to print or mine more Bitcoin. You can invest your money into it, and then over the course of 1 to 2 years, the value will go up, whereas the dollar will most likely go down. You can also buy things with cryptocurrency. Bitcoin, for example, was just enabled through PayPal. You can buy it through Cash App. Robinhood allows you to buy Bitcoin. It's becoming more and more legitimized, and a lot of institutions, a lot of high net worth investors are starting to pour into the cryptocurrency space. Now, the number 2 asset off of market cap is Ethereum. Now, Ethereum is not trying to be digital gold, although it can also serve as an investment vehicle. Ethereum is more like I would say a whole platform where you have these digital applications that run on Ether. It's absolutely crazy. As I sit here trying to explain it, I sound insane, and I think there's such a high bar to entry in terms of grasping the space. That makes me even more interested in it. But Ethereum is like a whole network, a platform that digital applications run, and they use Ether as like a gas, as a fuel to kind of fund transactions and sort of prop up the ecosystem. Believe it or not, Ethereum also exists as a base layer so that other cryptocurrencies can build on what's known as this ERC20 token. So actually, if you look at like some of the top, say, 50 cryptocurrencies, they all run on the Ethereum network. So that's right, we can have Jesse Tyler coin today running on Ethereum, and I can get everyone to invest. I mean, it's not that simple, but that's in essence what you can do with the Ethereum token. Just going down the list, there's XRP or Ripple, which proposes to kind of unite with traditional finance, break into the banking sector, and basically help them speed up banking transactions. If I want to do a wire transfer, it might take 24 hours to process, where with XRP or Ripple, I can send that transaction within a few seconds, maybe less than a minute. It's cheaper and quicker than traditional banking finance. And XRP is basically trying to facilitate facilitate that. Now, like I said earlier on in the video, there are thousands of cryptocurrencies, all kind of doing their own thing, all with different value propositions, and it reminds me of like the early stages of, say, the New York Stock Exchange. The beauty of the crypto market is, and I'm trying to iron this point home, because believe it or not, there's a lot of skeptics, there's a lot of people that are like, I don't know what he's talking about, therefore I'm not interested, I'm not going to invest. I've been in this space for right around 5, almost 6 years now. And I remember when I was hearing these things, I'm like, this definitely sounds like the future, right? As I said, everything's going digital, but when you look at all the things that haven't been digitized, we're still using US dollars, right? We're still using these green pieces of paper, which seem pretty ancient. That's like using paper nowadays. You don't need to use paper. Everything should be digital, especially with everyone becoming more and more environmentally conscious. The crazy thing to me though is this is a global market. This is not the New York Stock Exchange that, you know, goes from like 9 to 5. This is open 24/7. It is global trading. You know, there can be huge swings of volatility and huge capital pouring in or pouring out at any given time. It could be 4 or 5 in the morning and things are happening because that is this world. We are no longer, we shouldn't think so small of like, you know, we're in our little space, we're in our own little country, whatever. What happens in China also will affect the rest of the world just as much as what happens in the United States will also affect the rest of the world in a lot of ways. So we need to be conscious of that, and we also need a universal kind of currency that drives all of it. As we have this World Wide Web, we have all this cloud technology, everything needs to be more interconnected, and the best way to do that is through finance. A lot of people are thinking small, I think, and they're comparing market caps of cryptocurrency to, say, certain companies and stocks. They're saying, you know, well, Bitcoin's worth as much as like Amazon stock or whatever. They're making comparisons, but there is no easy comparison for this. We're not looking at stocks of a company, although these are companies. We are looking at the emergence of the digital economy, you know, reaching a threshold. We're looking at technically kind of traded companies that have a value assigned to them through this currency. And we have a revolution of the World Wide Web on top of this layer of finance. And guys, the amount of return and potential opportunity that comes from the revolution of the whole financial industry, trust me guys, we haven't even begun to see the amount of potential upside that cryptocurrency is going to bring. So when people ask me, you know, and I've been getting this question a lot since I started the finance channel, Jesse, I have this little bit of money, I don't know what to do. So given all this knowledge, like what is the best investment? As I already said, if you invested $100 into Bitcoin, you'd be sitting at 9 mil. If you invested $100 into Ethereum 4 years ago, you'd be sitting at $10,000. Or, you know, if you invested at its earliest stage, you'd be looking at hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars, depending on what you're throwing in initially. What's even crazier is some of these cryptocurrencies, not only are you investing in them and hoping the value goes up, but they offer things like staking. You can stake your cryptocurrency. Say you got something like Ethereum or Cosmos or Polkadot. There's all kinds of different currencies that have staking. You can use those currencies to earn you more currencies. Some having a 8% return, some even having a 12% return, some even have a 20% return. So just by holding these cryptocurrencies, you're going to earn anywhere from a few percent to 20% in value, in addition to any potential gains. There's even something, say, on the Ethereum network that you are able to take out a loan. If I wanted to buy this house to whereas the mortgage process was miserable, I can actually put my Ethereum up as collateral, take out a loan in less than a few minutes, cash that out, and buy a house, buy a car, buy whatever with it. There is some revolutionary instruments happening in the blockchain space, and I encourage everyone to pay attention. So now that you know all this information, what do you do now? Or Jesse, I have $100, or Jesse, I have $100,000. What do I do? Well, I would go to the most noob-friendly platform or exchange that you can, and especially for US investors, and that would be Coinbase. It has been sitting in the top 20 apps for finance for like the last few years. Download Coinbase on your phone, you can go on the website, set up an account, sign up, link your bank account just as you would with any brokerage or say, you know, stock trading website. And then what you'll do is pay attention. Pay attention to the market. Check out some different cryptocurrencies. You know, go to CoinMarketCap, see what things are trading at. Do some research on different companies just as you would a stock. Watch videos like this to learn. And I also encourage you guys to subscribe and drop some likes in this video if you really love the information, you want more info like this, because this is something I'm very passionate about. I would love to get deeper into cryptocurrency with you guys on here and potentially jump into some trades. I just want to start getting deeper into things. So do some research on some stuff, you know, buy some Bitcoin, buy some Ethereum, trade it, you know, play around with it. Go into Reddit, join the different Reddits, soak up as much as you can. Being in this space right now is, I'm sure, what it felt like if you were in the .com space back in the late 90s, early 2000s. I'm sure it was like a lot of hype and a lot of like, what is this? And people were like, it's a fad, da, 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 da. And then the prices dropped and it was whatever. But then over the last, you know, decade or so, it's been pretty pretty freaking obvious. This thing's here to stay and this is revolutionary stuff. I feel the same way with cryptocurrencies. So yeah, go on Coinbase, start to mess around. Maybe check out the other exchanges, Gemini, Kraken, start to explore. If you're overseas, check out Binance. Play around with these things, send some to your friends. Personally, I'm a huge fan of Ethereum. I love XRP, I love Bitcoin. I love a lot of tokens. I really believe that having money in a whole batch of them is a really safe bet. And a lot of investors, they're like, be careful, it's an unvetted space. I would put only 5% or 10% of your portfolio into it. And you'll hear a lot of traditional finance people. I mean, even my financial advisor over the years was like, I would not put your money in cryptocurrency. Had I listened to him, I would not have 10x, 50, I would not have made a lot of money in the market had I been kind of more afraid of it. But I did my research and I took calculated risks and it's paid off. And I encourage you to do the same. You'll also find a lot of financial guys, a lot of young guys, say in their early, late 20s, a lot of other finance channels that I hear they really don't have that much allocated towards cryptocurrency. They're mostly in stocks and indexes and real estate. And I'm shocked because they're so young. And when you're young, guys, this is when you take risk, and especially with the emerging asset class, that I'm heavily stacked. I'm like 90% stacked into cryptocurrency because I can assume the risk, and I've also made a lot of return over the years, and I know where it's heading just because I've been an advocate for everything digital for years. And I think we all know, whether we want to admit it or not, where the future's heading. It's gonna be like the freaking sci-fi movies. Everything's digital. Once you play around with it, then you really see the light. So I always encourage you guys to just explore, do your research, take whatever money you're comfortable with and put it on the Coinbase, buy some tokens, hold for a bit. And as always, I don't advocate kind of doing these swing trades or day trades, although I have done in the past, and generally more often than not, they work out, at least for me, because they're very calculated plays, and we can get into those. Let me know in the comments if you would like that. But I would just buy and hold over longer time periods, especially for these assets. Why I'm claiming it is the best investment class of this next decade is this is when it's really going to happen. Bitcoin, Ethereum, and I think 2 other tokens are already added to PayPal, but PayPal is going to enable an insane amount of merchants. So you can actually use Bitcoin or Ethereum to actually pay for anything that you normally would use PayPal for. You can use cryptocurrency. They're also going to allow, buying and selling. And this didn't exist as of, say, 8 months ago. Seeing the moves in the space, it's very clear where it's heading. No doubt, investing in, say, Ethereum, Bitcoin, or a lot of these smaller tokens that have great value props, they're going to 10x in the future. I can't say the same for a lot of stocks. I feel like a lot of stocks are overvalued, and there's just not much option. Cryptocurrencies, there's new ones popping up on the market every day. It's a smorgasbord. It's just craziness, I just 3x my money on this token news cipher, which got added to Coinbase the other day. 3x my money in what was a few short days. I mean, that's unheard of. And it's not like these are insanely risky penny stocks too. There's tens of millions, hundreds of millions of dollars flooding into these tokens. I mean, Bitcoin's trading volume on any given day is into the tens of billions. With the coming inflation, the further stimulus that we'll receive, there's no better place to park your money than in cryptocurrency, guys. And I'm hoping for those that already have been in the cryptocurrency space, I hope I did a good job explaining this and doing it justice. Let me know what your picks are down below. And for my crypto community peeps, let me know if you want me to talk about anything specific. We're still a relatively new channel here on the Just Tyler Ridgeway channel, so still trying to find their way. So just really let me know down below if you appreciate this video, if you want to see more, and just any other questions you may have. But guys, I hope that clears it up. Cryptocurrency is here to stay, and I put my money where my mouth is, and I am a huge investor and advocate for it, and it's only going to blow up from 2020 to 2030. I would bet everything that I have that the value of cryptocurrency from today, 10 years from now, is going to be it's going to be insane. I don't even think, one Bitcoin could be trading for like $300,000. It'd be worth $500,000. It'd be like fine art. It's just going to further gain value over time. There's a limited number of these things, man. It's like the Gen 1 Charizards. There's 21 million Bitcoin, and there's like 7-8 billion people on the planet. You do the math. Good luck trading, everyone. Start playing in the market. Do your research. Let's get minted. Call me when you're serious. Cacao. And if you're curious what I'm like super bullish on right now, XRP, baby. XRP, there's a big airdrop coming this weekend. Basically like free money. And also I've been a huge advocate for Ethereum. Just when I said the point about there being 50 of the top 100 cryptocurrencies built onto it, they're building a whole network. There's a lot more complexity and nuance to it. Bitcoin just seems like kind of like, oh,
Bitcoin. I'm the meat and potatoes.
but then you got Ethereum, which is like the filet mignon with like garlic mash, like some demi glaze on the steak. Like this is like Ethereum is like the fine dining, the Amazon of investments, in my opinion. XRP is great for the banking, and they're trying to unite, you know, kind of this decentralized, rebellious cryptocurrency with the traditional boys. But I'm XRP currently, but I'm like, I bleed Ethereum. Got you.